Hey guys, welcome to 6 Minutes for Thursday, September 1st. I'm Jason Fulmore, SE Wrestle, and I'm going to try to keep this short because my conversation today is with Harris County head coach Alex Moore. We talk about Harris County in general, and also talk about changes of classifications, big things, girls wrestling, that sort of thing, here in the state of Georgia from a coach's perspective. But as usual, it is a little bit longer than what I intend. So I'll keep this short. Look for me this weekend. I'll be up at Ola for the Super 32 qualifier, taking pictures and posting stuff. Next week's busy. Hopefully we'll have a preview of the Florida Super 32 qualifier down that's happening in Osceola. Look for clips from this weekend, and then hopefully we're going to start the state of the program posts pretty soon, next week. So I hope you enjoy my conversation with Coach Alex Moore.
Hey everyone, Jason Fulmore here today with Coach Moore of Harris County. Hey Coach, how are things?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, love it. I am super excited to see how you guys are this year. I want to give everybody some context. Harris County has, over the last 5 years, you guys have been super tough. You've had some really good kids. You've gone to the knockout. You've been super competitive in different classes and everything else. But you got some new faces this year. So what can we expect from Harris County this year?
This year we're going to have some new faces, but luckily here at Harris County, we've done a good job of getting them out of our middle school and our youth program. So there are going to be some new faces that maybe you haven't heard a lot of at the state level, but they've been in our program for a while now. I don't think, in fact, when my assistant coaches were talking the other day, I think there's only going to be like one starter on our team this year that hasn't wrestled more than 3 years or less than 3 years.
Wow.
So like everybody has a good amount of experience. We do a good job of taking split squads places and getting those JV guys matches.
Right.
So they have time on the mat. But yeah, we still got some good guys in the lineup too. You got Culpepper, Davis Culpepper's a kid.
Yep. Davin Lundquist.
Davin, Nick Wynn was a state placer last year. He's hoping to be back at 106, 113 area. We also have some good freshmen coming in. We have a heavyweight coming in. Wes Sappington took third at Kid State last year. And we got some upper weights that are coming back. We haven't really been great in the upper weights in the past, but we felt that's going to be our strength this year with DJ Maddox coming back being a senior. Denver Degonia wrestling probably 215 this year. He'll be a sophomore, but a really good sophomore. We're looking forward to those new guys, getting their feet wet a little bit and, hopefully representing for keep up the legacy we've kind of created in the last 5-10 years. So,
and you have, you have had some real hammers, and it's one of those things where I love that kind of mindset. It's a little bit of the kind of Camden mindset of the next man up, and you may not know these names, but they're ready to kind of step forward and take on that responsibility and are, excited to wear that HC across the chest and that sort of thing. What is it about Harris County that kind of you're able to kind of continue to get these kids in that position and ready to compete?
Well, I think first and foremost, again, starting younger, I'm blessed that I teach 7th and 8th grade PE. I'm the PE middle school PE coach here.
There you go.
Every single boy that goes to Harris County High School has come through my class. So like right now on a daily basis, I'm seeing the kids play basketball, seeing who's athletic, who has a good attitude, and then I'm pulling them aside and saying, hey, we really need to think about wrestling. Do you play basketball? Do you do another sport? Try to pick them out early. That's where the majority of our team comes from. I get a lot of them as 7th and 8th graders that I taught. But also,
that must be invaluable.
It is. It's great. People ask me, like, do I ever want to go to the high school? And yes, I do miss being at the high school. When I was at Washington Wilkes, I was at the high school. But I got a great assistant coach in Wes Wingard who teaches special education at the high school. And then he's able to kind of keep his hand on those high school guys. And then me able to kind of recruit those middle school hallways like I do. I love being there. We got a great staff there. We got great coworkers there. They help me out picking out wrestlers. In fact, we just hired our first ever female coach, Miss Amy Sanchez. She's at the middle school with me.
All right.
So she's going to be trying to work those middle school girls, trying to get them on the mat, kind of continue to grow that program as well.
Well, and you guys had what, 2 state qualifiers, 1 state placer for the girls last year. Is that right?
That's right. Addison Lowell, our freshman, placed
Yeah, she
last
was
year.
a placer as a
Yeah,
freshman.
she placed 5th last year. She'll be back this year as a sophomore. We also got Shakaria Wesley, who'll be a senior. Didn't have a great end to her year last year, but she had a fantastic lead up into that. And then what we're also pitching to our girls is we got Samantha Scarborough, state champ 2 years ago, is now wrestling at Life University.
Right.
We got Mia Buckner, who was a state placer 2 years ago, is now just signed to go to Montreat in North Carolina. So she'll be wrestling in college next year. That's the two main girls we've had. So, come wrestle, we've got a good chance of getting education somewhere outside of Harris County. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to pitch to them as well right now.
Those opportunities exist, right? I mean,
Yeah. And I tell you, listen, I'll be things that make Harris County great is I can't leave them out. The guys at Icon Wrestling down in Columbus, what's really helped us is they've grown with us. They were kind of here before I got here. They're in Troup County. A lot of our kids go to Icon during the off season, wrestle freestyle and Greco with them. And just growing the wrestling in the communities really helped us as a program just continue to pump out those top level kids.
yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. So before we transition to kind of more of the bigger questions, I can't help. I don't know the kids in your room besides the kids who I've seen actually wrestle. So, I'm not as familiar with these new kids that are coming up and those sorts of things. As a coach, do your goals change with a new set of kids? You lost Kinsall, you lost different kids. You got other kids who are unproven and that sort of thing. Do the goals change, or you pretty much preach the expectation is the same?
Yeah, the expectation is the same. We're real big on duels here. We always expect to be competitive in duels. I've always been competitive in duels. The 14 kids that we're going to put out on the mat might not be as strong individually, but as a team, we're still going to be a very solid team from 6 to 285. And it's also great for that kid who might be new, who might be getting thrown into the lineup. Yeah, he might have lost the majority of his matches, but Harris County went 5-0. And so it keeps that kid out.
Right.
It keeps that kid who might be on the border. Yeah, he might be losing a little bit. Yeah, he might not have the outcomes that he wants to have. But hey, in the grand scheme of things, he gets to go to school and hear his name announced or his wrestling team announced on the intercom is doing great. Now we are going as far as overall goals. We're keeping the schedule heavy. I learned that from some of our guys, some other coaches that I've talked to in the past. Said if your guy goes undefeated, you didn't do your job as a coach getting tough matches. So we're going to still. Culpepper needs to be tested. Wynn needs to be tested. Lundquist needs to get tested. And those new guys that are coming along, we're also going to have to get ready to fight every match.
Yeah,
and
they are.
When it gets to
you guys have a tough schedule.
We do. We're going to Knockout again in December. We're going to the Jones County Duels. They're hosting a good little tournament down there this year. We're going to Jefferson for their individual tournament.
Yeah.
So we're loaded up again pretty good, and try to go some half duels, half individual. Try to even it out for those guys a little bit, and we're looking forward to it. But but again, adding on to what you're asking is. We're not going to be, we don't want to come in last in the tournament. But we also try to break, top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
Every time we go out.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's one of those situations where, when I coached, I got a new set of kids, and we still hold them to that level, but we also have some realistic expectations that they're not there yet. We're just going to have to kind of work to get to that point. That's what I was kind of alluding to, if you know.
Yeah, we've listen a lot of Nick Perler back in a few years ago, and like some of our new kids when they're wrestling, a really good kid in this area, a really good kid in the state. Hey man, we're not looking to win, but let's score an offensive point. Right. Let's not have him cutting you. Let's get up from bottom. Let's stay off of our back.
Right.
And have
let's
those
goals in the match, right?
Yeah, let those little goals. You might have get lost at the end, but hey, you lost by minor to a state placer last year. you
Right.
might not wrestle many more people better than him this year until we get to state.
Right.
So, those sort of little goals like that help a lot too.
So in growing girls, the girls wrestling, you have two that are back. I know you have
Mhm.
one of the placers and that sort of thing.
Yep,
This is the first year of the girls duels, I
it
believe,
is.
right?
Yep.
So have you seen, because you've now been at Harris County for 11 years, or you've been at least in that neck of the woods for 11, coaching for 11 years.
Yep.
Um, eh, since it's been sanctioned, have you seen more interest from the girls? And do you think the duels will be, you know, even more interesting? Like, is something that they
Yeah.
should be doing?
Yeah. I mean, I think any bit we are here at Harris County struggling a little bit to get the girls out. And it's weird at Harris County because our girls in Harris County are very athletic. I mean, some
Yeah,
of our best programs here, volleyball, softball, are our best programs in the school. So we're trying to tap into that a little bit, try to get those girls out. It's really growing in our area. Jordan, right down the road, does a great job getting,
yeah, they
they
do.
have tons
Right.
of girls out every year. Coach Scott does an awesome job with them. I got Carrollton up the road has a full team. Veterans was in our region for a long time. They have, a full team that's really good. I think just seeing it more. We host Queen of the County here. We've been hosting it for
Right.
5 years now, and just I think having girls come to that tournament. It's in Harris County, whether it be middle school, elementary school girls, high school girls, and actually see, hey, there's a lot of girls here. There's a lot of girls wrestling. We're going to host about 20, 25 teams this year of girls teams. And I think just them seeing that it is possible for girls to wrestle and be successful um, will hopefully bring them out and continue to grow it in Harris County and in our area because it's
Well,
growing in the state. It's massive.
and your new coach is probably got to be, I mean, it's got to be a huge thing as far as bringing her in to, take that on.
Oh, absolutely. We're blessed to have Amy with us. She's going to do a great job again getting those girls out in middle school. Making them feel more comfortable, making their parents
Feel
feel
more
more
comfortable.
comfortable.
Right.
Because like in the past, it's been me and Coach Wingard and mostly men out there. Bringing in that female that can travel with us and do help us facilitate those girls in the hotel rooms and at tournaments and stuff. Like
Right.
it's invaluable what she's going to bring to our program.
That's so awesome. So let's talk big picture. Change in classifications. You are you guys looking forward to kind of the new mix of kind of teams that you might see?
Yeah, well, 5A is always, it seems like since I got to Harris County, 5A, I mean, back when I first got here, it was Cambridge, Kell. I mean, it was Creek View, it was everybody. And now
Right.
it's kind of going back to that again, where it's just deep,
It
deep.
is.
I was watching your video on the top 10 group coming out, and I'm like, that's 10 really good teams. There's some back there that aren't that top 10 that have some solid kids on it.
No doubt.
So we're looking forward to it. I wrestled against Jefferson. I was at Washington Wilkes. They're in our area. So I've seen them before. I know what they're about. Of course, everybody knows what Jefferson's about.
Right.
They're Jefferson,
Right. But you haven't seen them at a state level in many years now.
No, we have not.
Right.
No, we haven't seen them. Harris County has not seen them in a state level. We saw them in knockout last year individually.
Right.
I think we only had like one matchup with one of their kids though. Of course, Cass, we saw Cole Hunt last year in the state finals.
Right.
Craps wrestled Decker
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, knockout in a few other places. So, us and Cass have seen each other a lot. Of course, it seems I talked to Coach Danilo Ola. It seemed like there for a few years we saw Ola everywhere. Us and Ola locked up at Daniel Grind. We locked up in like the first or second round of state duels. I mean, we must have wrestled Ola. I mean, our kids met Decker, beat their kid at 113 in 2020. He beat us. Gavin Hayes.
Right. I remember that.
He beat us the next year. Just so us and Ola always. I mean, we got a lot of respect for them. They do a great job over there, and they're a lot like us. Talking about 5A, they're very much a homegrown team. They don't have a bunch of people coming in year after year. They got a great little feeder program, and they just do an awesome job there. So
they
see a lot of similarities with us and them.
Yeah, they're like they're a lunch pail crew. That's how I kind of think of Harris County too. Is kids that you expect to see from Harris County. I don't necessarily, even if I look at a kid and I'm not 100% sure of who that kid is, I kind of expect them to go out and kind of battle And that's what I expect from a NOLA kid as well. You know, they're going to be in the match, whether they're winning the match or they're not. They're going to be in the match fighting for the points. And I think that's a real testament to kind of maybe the culture and the mindset that you guys are kind of instilling in them there.
Yeah, and it kind of leads up for those kids. I mean, we're not real good because of real good coaching or real good this or that. We're real good because those kids have had to wrestle Tucker Kinsaw and Grant Monroe and David Enfinger and now Lundquist and now Culpepper and now Wynn. I mean, so they've all been in that room. And then here, here in a few years, you're going to be talking about these little freshmen that are coming up that, that they're going to be teaching the next group. I mean, these kids just grow each other.
Yeah.
And the old ad, iron sharpens iron. I mean, that's kind of what we got going on right now where, they help each other out. We got great kids here in Harris County. And, that if a new kid is new to the team, new to wrestling, I mean, our kids kind of take them under their wing. They get them ready. And they're expected to win. They're expected to go out and be tough. They're expected to fight off the back.
Yeah.
Or when they get,
Right.
to the bench, they're going to hear it from them, not in a mean, cruel way, but like, hey man, that's not what we do here.
That's
like,
right.
You're going to fight for 6 minutes regardless.
Right.
And that's what we hope to accomplish anyway.
Because as a team, that 6 points is huge.
It is.
And those kids know that.
Yeah, it is. And our kids do, since we've gotten better over the years, that they understand that team score and they know where we got to get points and they know where we're going to give up points. And they know that sometimes losing by minor is just as good as winning by minor in some spots, depending on how the bumps go in that lineup. And
absolutely.
It's a tough little test for them, but yeah, we're looking forward to 5A. We're going to see them all at Knockout. I guess like the entire top 10 of 5A is going to be down at Knockout.
They are. I was actually going through the list the other day, and I was like, wow, it'll be really interesting to see because there's going to be a lot of crossover match. We will have a pretty good sense by late December of kind of maybe how 5A might play out. So
yeah, it's going to be. I would say that with Knockout being before Christmas this year, you will see some weight class shifting.
Right.
With them not getting the 2 pounds yet, and some kids might be up or down a weight class at that point, depending on kind of how their season's going. So you'll see some movement, I think, after that tournament too about matchups and who's going where in the state.
So that was actually my final question for you as we wrap this up. Is that you guys in Georgia, you have the new weights in place?
Yes,
but Florida doesn't.
No.
Alabama doesn't.
Nope.
So are the kids going to have to like shift back to another weight when they hit the Knockout? They have to, right?
Yeah,
it's there.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to plan for both. It's gonna be real. We're gonna see, man. It's gonna be real weird. Especially we're right here on the Alabama line. I mean, so we wrestle Central and Smiths and Opelika and those guys a lot, and they go to our tournaments, we go to their tournaments, and so just kind of figuring out. And to me, the big concern is not necessarily losing the weight or gaining the weight or whatever. It's that weight descent plan that we have to follow.
Right.
Like, that's my only concern is like a kid having to lose a certain amount of weight for Knockout when they don't have to lose that weight for King of the County or something coming up here. So it's going to be learned,
Well, and the paperwork, the administrative side of things to make sure that all the boxes are checked. That's my fear. It's not my fear with you guys because you've been around the block, you've been there a while and that sort of thing. But new coaches who maybe haven't experienced this before, and you and I were talking off camera about the Georgia Wrestling Coaches Association and their new coach seminar and things along those lines. And that might be something that they should have a conversation about as far as, that weight descent plan and making sure your paperwork is in order because you'd hate to rob a kid of an opportunity.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. Like, and we double, we're going down, especially in January or December, or we got a kid that wants to go down for a specific tournament, such as Knockout or like the Jefferson tournament or something like that. Man, we are double and triple checking numbers. I mean, after practice, I mean, it is a headache. And just to make sure that not only, but also that not only just the coaches, but that the parents are informed. Keeping them with, hey, I know he's wrestling 113 this tournament, but he has to weigh 108 and trying to explain to them why he has to weigh 4 pounds less or 5 pounds less in the weight class and moving around and making sure he's, doing the correct things, it's just tough, and
Yeah.
this is going to be even tougher. But it's just going to be one of those things that we're going to have to work through. It's kind of curveball, but hey, we'll get through it, and hopefully it's only this year or next 2 years, and everybody will come along.
Well, I think they're right behind you. I think it's next year that they have to have it in place. It's just weird because I'm thinking 175 now, and I'm like, whoa, Georgia has 175, but Alabama doesn't. Anyway. All right. Hey, I got to ask you. So you got mats like hanging out at your house over your left shoulder. What's up with that?
So I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Okay.
And of course they love hanging around guys and girls at the wrestling. And so that's our home mat back there. My dad bought him a home mat. I think Charlie was I think he was 3. I think he was 3 when he first got that home mat. And so they get it out in the living room and
roll around,
beat on each other for a little bit or do whatever. And so it's a nice little Resolite mat we got back there.
I love it. Yeah. You know what? I need to put one behind me. I mean, even though I'm not gonna get on the mat anymore, like I should just totally have one like in the background. That is the best thing in the world to have.
It gets used a little bit right now, but man, come October when Charlie's going to wrestling practice, and Charlie's my oldest, the 6-year-old, that thing will be out every night.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good seeing those kids grow up on it. So learning a little bit of toughness at a young age is always good.
Absolutely. So. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you guys. I'll see you probably several different times this season, and it'll be fun watching Harris County like make a run again.
Awesome, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for all you do growing the sport, man. It's I love watching all the videos and all the content y'all been putting out, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. I appreciate you guys paying attention to it. So thank you.
Man, it's great. Thanks.
You take care.
Yeah, man. See ya.
See ya.